is Nick's going to tell us, because the second round of voting in the municipal elections here in France, of course, dominating the French press. Nick, what are they saying about it then?
Hi to you, Stuart. And of course, this whole municipal vote is being headlined as a rout for the ruling socialists. Who is cock-a-hoop most of all? None less than the editorial guys at Le Figaro. Their front page choice this Monday is La Vague Bleue. So the blue wave, they've actually alternated that with another headline, the tsunami, the blue tsunami. So the blue wave unfurls over him, and there you can see that it actually exceeded the expectations of the UMP, so they've not got the hump on anymore, because they've had a terrible time as well, haven't they, the opposition UMP, for months and months, both parties struggling, the ruling socialists and the UMP. The editorial in Le Figaro is saying, well, let's give Hollande a last chance, la dernière chance du président. He's got basically either he goes in the direction of a Tony Blair-style reforms to shake up the French economy, or he will go the way of George Papandreou, and France will sink into a quagmire of Greek-style politics.
Okay, well, that's what they say. Anyway, this message, though, that there's this electoral tsunami, if you like, is picked up by another right-wing paper, isn't it?
Well, that's L'Opinion, and it's taking that tsunami theme a bit further. It's actually got a picture of one on the front page, La Déferlante, so that wave demolishing. You can see he looks very forlorn, doesn't he, there, hidden
he does
away.
Look a bit lonely,
François Hollande.
He? Yeah.
You cannot find a picture of François Hollande in the press this Monday that is not forlorn. Now, L'Opinion says that this is a rejection of him personally, yes, his policies, and yes, his government. And Jean-Marc Ayrault, who's the Prime Minister, he must go to begin with. Who are the credible alternatives for L'Opinion? Well, you've got Manuel Valls, the Interior Minister, or Laurent Fabius, the Foreign Minister.
Now, looking at the left-wing press, Libération, they're leading with rather a different headline, La Punition.
That's quite strong as well, isn't it? There you can see Mr. Hollande there with his head bowed, La Punition, punishment. Its editorial is saying, yes, a reshuffle is not simply unavoidable, it is a matter of urgency for what is a historic debacle for these ruling socialists. The editorial in the Libé this Monday saying the new team will have to focus on concrete actions, and that includes easing the tax burden for people who are not so well off. The paper says people will be thinking about the whole of Hollande's mandate, his term in office, as before and after these municipals. Sticking with the left-wing press, let's go to L'Humanité, which is the communist paper, isn't it? And it's not kind either, saying that the problem here, there you can see a deconstructed picture of Hollande on the front page, désaveu massif, a massive rejection of him. Again, saying, yes, he's personally responsible. And the big problem, why didn't left-wing voters turn out? 38% abstention rate, low voter turnout, the people on the left not turning out in support of Hollande.
What about some of the papers seen as perhaps a little bit more neutral, Nick? Le Parisien aujourd'hui en France, what are they saying?
Well, that's seen as more of a kind of populist paper, isn't it? The paper that people read in the cafes and the streets and so on there. Condamné à changer, again with that picture of Hollande looking very forlorn. Condamné à changer is sentenced to change. That paper is looking too at perhaps someone who's smiling very broadly this Monday is Marine Le Pen, who has got her strategy right as far as that paper is concerned, saying that she targeted key towns, key cities, and in doing that, she now takes away, 12 mayors? She's got a little
Roughly,
team there bubbling away of new politicians who will emerge up in French politics. So there, Marine Le Pen grinning broadly there. She has succeeded in her gamble. Let me finish on the cartoon by Plantu, who's one of the perhaps the best cartoonists in France. There saying, well, Paris, we've won Paris, the socialists, and who is the emperor with no clothes but Hollande, smiling for once. And meanwhile, as we look, again, that metaphor of kind of sinking ships and a tsunami there, the rest of France is actually sinking as far as Plantu is concerned, and a palm tree is sprouting out of the top of the Eiffel Tower. So I think some miracles like that is what Hollande needs, isn't it, in the next few days, as the attention will focus on him and what he will do with the reshuffle if it happens.
Exactly. Pretty good for its 125th anniversary as well. A story we were bringing you a little bit earlier on. All right, Nick, thank you very much. Nick and Stephen, of course, back over the next couple of hours with more business and more newspapers as well. Coming up for you, the very latest news. Also in the next half hour, hopefully speaking to somebody from the Socialists and from the UMP as well. And we're going to be reporting on the French citizens who've been to Syria and fought their own holy war. Now they're proving a real concern for the French authorities as they've returned back home. It's a special report for Focus in the next half hour.